Oh, here's looking at you, kid. Oh, got Grandfather Fire Spirit here. Got Suayuda, open up the medicine of the Salvia Spirit. Ay, Ombrios. Send some of this medicine out through cyberspace. The Resh and Deborah and Ricky and Mark and Kelly, Max and Micah and Patricia and Goldie and Stella and all the people that will be listening later on at their own time. Sending out gratitude for your lives. Thank you for the blessing of your life and blessings on your life. All right. Ombrios. That out carefully. All right. So, a power of prayer. Hey, Micah, good to see you. Welcome back from far away. Micah was over in Tibet, was it, or Nepal? One of those. Yeah. So, welcome back. Good to see everybody. Wendy joining us. Power of prayer. Power of prayer. I want to start off with a prayer because today's Dia de los Muertos, Day of the Dead, and honoring our relatives, our ancestors, loved ones who've crossed over to the spirit world. So I want to just invite us to drop in, let our eyelids close here and go into the sacred space of our looks within place, and maybe can't be just bringing awareness to the experience of being breathed, being present in the moment, of being alive, sensing, whatever it is you're sensing in the beautiful sensitivity of your body beating, and sensing and feeling. What an amazing experience to be incarnated in a physical body with all of its amazing modalities of sensitivity and feeling and listening and looking within and observing and seeing and waking up and remembering the truth of who and what we are. Starlight brought to earth. Starlight brought to birth. Starlight brought to life. 4K to shine. And so remembering from the looks within place and feeling down into our hearts beating, pumping out the life force that flows in with the breath. Gratitude to you, great mystery, great spirit, Holy Mother, Waham Tonka, for giving us this breath of life. Angels of protection, thank you for the gifts of protection for ourselves and our loved ones. And may, through our joining of our hearts and minds and spirits here tonight, empower that protection, sending it out into the world. So much violence and separation and coming from fear, from the perception of separation, so much fear and anxiety leading to violence. Oh, letting go, breathing out, letting go, dropping down into the place of inner peace, the place at the center of our being, underneath the storms and the waves and the winds. Letting go and dropping down into that deep place of inner peace that's always there at the center of our being. With our eyes closed, there's no visual of separation, apparent illusionary separation. There's only the oneness in the darkness, in the eternal, pregnant, dark void, and the light that percolates in that darkness. And just allowing a moment or two for loved ones, parents, grandparents, friends, ancestors going back as far back as you want to go, or opening up the bandwidth of consciousness awareness, how wide you want to open that up to the ancestors, the ones who've crossed over, who completed their incarnation in their physical body as we knew them during their time of their life walk. And when this veil is thinner between the worlds, the world of the infinite spirit, the world of material manifestation, when the veil is thinner, more opportunity for intimate connection with the spirit of our loved ones. Offer this prayer. For all of you who have crossed over, for all of you who have crossed over, all who have crossed over, we remember you here. We make a home for you here in our hearts, in and through the love that doesn't die. When the bodies dissolve, the containers dissolve, and the spirit that had been living in those containers for the time of the life walk merge back into the infinite oneness in which we're all joined. We remember you here, all those who have crossed over, and all those who are crossing over right now. And we remember all those left behind. We remember all of those left behind. And we remember all of those finding illness and coma and darkness and fear and loneliness and anxiety, all those suffering. We remember you here. And we remember all those coming into the bodies, and all those being carried, and all those being born into this middle world. We remember. And we remember all those helping in all the birthing processes at all stages of the life cycle. We remember you here. We place our future in your hands, great mystery, and choose to experience inner peace now, feeling joined and connected and one with you, who have been always, who will be always, who are here now. Sending you light, sending you love, to help you remember all those who've crossed over, crossing over, left behind, fighting suffering, all those coming into bodies, being carried, the children's children yet to come, and all those helping in all the birthing process of health and healing, letting go, opening. We remember you here. Sending you light to help you remember. Sending you light to hold you in love. Sending you light to help you remember. Sending you light to guide your way home. To guide your way home. Love is the answer. Love is the key. Love is the healer. Let love flow through me, open to receive. Waves of the ocean flow with ease. The waves flow with ease, open to receive. Let love flow through thee. Let love flow through thee, opening the container of your body, the channels. The open, easeful flow of healing transformational light and love flowing through you. May love flow through we. May love flow through we. Joining us all together, empowered by the joining of our energies, creating an empowered energy field that we give to and can call on. Joining our hearts and minds and spirits together in this way. It's like going to the bank to make a deposit. But we can draw on that. Those challenges come in our lives and our buttons are pushed and the reactivity gets triggered and wants to hijack our cortex, cerebral cortex, and run the show. We can remember, I can draw on this energy field bank of empowered, infinite, unconditional, dulce miel, sweet honey, cosmic aloha, love, light, consciousness. That is the essence of our being. Like flipping a switch when you come in a dark room, when we remember the truth of who we are, we bring our conscious awareness into focusing on remembering the truth of who I am, we are, what we are, why we're here. That light switch, the light comes through and strengthens us, empowers us, so we can show up and do our part to open the Eureka, the doorway, to bring through the transformational and healing love, light, consciousness that's needed at this critical juncture. Of the evolutionary opportunities of being alive today, showing up to do our part, to open a channel, to connect with the cosmic faucet, turn the faucet on and let that love flow through us. Thank you, Great Spirit, for bringing us together here in this way to turn that faucet on, avail ourselves of and empower ourselves and each other and use us as a channel to send it out into the world. More healing, light, and kindness, and courage, and creativity, and beauty, and generosity. Fullest blossoming, greatest good. We remember you here, loved ones, in the spirit world. Oh, Pomprios. All right. Coming back in here. All right. Taking a moment just to see everybody. Wow, thank you for your lives. Great to see you. Great to see you. Pomprios. So let me tell you about speaking of power of prayer. So today, on the last day of the month, I like to do a prayer with my chinumpa, my sacred pipe. And a day or so before the last day of the month, whatever day that was, a couple of days ago, I was with my family, and my older grandson was there with some of his buddies and his girlfriend, and they were making some drinks. There we were out at the beach, and we were making some drinks, and he made some kind of mixed drink with rum in it. And I said, I wanted to test out his skill in making drinks, So I said, here, let me take a taste of what you mixed up there. So I took a little taste of it. I said, oh man, that's pretty good. And then I forgot about it. That's all I had was one little sip. But then 2 days later, when it was time for me to do the prayer pipe, I remembered that the way I was initiated into the pipe was I could not have any alcohol for 4 days before using the pipe. And I said, oh shit, man, now I can't do it on the last day of the year. It's turkey, you spaced it out. I said, okay, well, so deal with it. So when can I do it? All right, 4 days. So it was today, Wednesday. I said, okay. So I started driving up to, I don't know how high it is up in these beautiful Santo Inez mountains, where there's the famous cave. It's so famous because it has Chumash paintings inside of it. So famous that people went up there and started desecrating it. So they had to put bars in front of it. So you can't walk into the cave. You can look through the bars and see the painting. But the paintings were made by the Chumash shamans up there, the visions. And so the guidance for me was to take my pipe up there and really connect with the ancestor spirits deeper. and the spirit and the power of the land here. So the road to get up there, the highway to get up there, is literally about 4 minutes from our house. And almost immediately start climbing up into the mountains, those beautiful mountains. And the higher up you get, the more curvy it is. And I don't know, it's 5 or 6, 7 miles up the mountains. And then you get to this real narrow street to turn. It's about 3 miles up this real narrow road. You'll go up to where the Chumash Cave is. And it's really narrow with about 20 or 30 hairpin turns and exposure, deep exposure, the higher up you get. And there's only room for one car. So you have to go really slow around these curves. And as you're going around these curves, and I honk a little bit and put those angels of protection there, calling them in. And I'm going around these curves really slow, hoping there's nobody coming the other way. And I'm looking to my side, and there's really deep exposure. And I need to let you know, I have a deep fear of heights. And as I was driving up there, and I really have to, my body immediately tightens up when I see that exposure. My breath gets short, and adrenaline starts pumping through me. And so I really have to slow myself down. And so here was fear coming up. Here was fear and anxiety coming up. I'm going up to a place of power. And here's fear and anxiety coming up of, it's possible somebody comes around a turn here a little bit fast and here knocks me off of here, and that's the end of that. So I'm having to deal with my fear and calm down my anxiety in my body. So I'm getting work, which is appropriate, going a place of power. Because why? Why is it appropriate? Because it's humbling, and it brings me more powerfully into what's true always. You're alive in this moment. Make the best of it. You don't have no guarantee of the next moment. It can go just like that, which is true always. But when you're up there, I don't know what it is, 1,000 feet or whatever it is, and looking straight down in places, it makes it more real, makes it more graphically real, preciousness and the fragility. So I'm going through all of this and real slow and breathing and just trying to calm my central nervous system down and slowly making my way up the mountain, getting higher and higher. And I suddenly have an insight realization of when I'm 5 years old, where is this huge fear of heights coming from? Where is it? Not everybody has a fear of heights to the degree that I do, and some people don't even have the fear of heights at all. So, but for me, it's really extreme. So as I'm going up, breathing into this fear, all of a sudden I see myself as 5 years old, a year after my dad died, coming from New York City, which is Flatsville, no mountains in New York City. So I've never been in the high mountains. One of the first things my mother did with my cousins and her family, who lived in Southern California at the time, is we were going up to Big Bear. They take us up to Big Bear, up in the mountains. And we're going over these really narrow, winding roads. I'm in the back seat with my cousins and looking, straight down at these great drop. And I start having a meltdown. I'm freaking out. It wasn't overt. It was inside of me. So I can't handle this. I'm just freaking out. And so I lie down on the floor of the car. And until we got there, I just laid on the floor of the car, so I couldn't see the visual stimuli that was causing such freak out for me. And so what I realized today was, I think maybe my extreme fear of heights is because when we were going up that mountain for the first time I ever seeing exposure like that, the impact of the death was still strong inside of me. It was still really strong inside of me. None of that had been worked on. And so here I look out the window and I'm seeing death, and it freaks me out. So it activated my nervous system like on steroids with fear of heights. All right, so I'm dealing with all of that, continuing on up the mountain. And Coyote was active a couple of times, so I missed there's a sign where the Chumash Cave is. I actually see the sign. I actually take pictures of it, get out and take pictures of it. But I don't see above the sign that there's it's hard to see, kind of an obscure through the rocks trail, a little bit of a trail up to where the cave is. So I go right on past it, up a couple more miles up the mountain, and I know this is too far. I must have missed it. So I go back down the mountain. Now I'm facing, when I come down the road, I'm facing the heights beneath me. Whereas I was going up, I'm only looking at what's ahead of me. So it's even more anxiety producing. And I miss the sign again. I don't see it. Somebody says, about a half a mile. I go a mile, I didn't see the damn thing. So somebody's coming uphill, I stop and ask them where it is. They say it's about a quarter mile back. That's where the sign is. So this time I'm going really slow. I get back to the sign that I saw initially, that I didn't know the trail was there. But now I see it. Okay, the trail's right above there. So so it's interesting dynamics in terms of the first couple of times I missed it. The thought comes up inside of me, well, maybe you're not supposed to go there. Maybe it's the medicine, the spirits here, the power saying this isn't the right time for you to go there. And it triggered also this other program inside of me, my give up itis program. Oh, this is too hard. It's not happening. Maybe I'll just go back down, right? Triggered that one. So again, with fear, anxiety, negativity, I had to work through some stuff to get there. And I finally do get there. And then go up to the cave and do my prayers with the pipe. And of course, on the way there, in a little crevice between rocks, what do I see in this place of beauty and power? And the winds are howling, just really howling, really strong. We had a little weather front, cold weather front come in, and just really powerful winds. And so in certain places, I'm climbing up a couple of rock climbing moves to get further up above the cave. I go in to the cave, see the images, take some pictures of it, take in the power, do some prayers, but I want to go up higher. And so what do I see? Something catches my eye, a glint of light between some rocks, a little mini cave. So I go closer to see what it is. What is it? It's a beer can, a crushed beer can. And it reminded me, of course, I mean, what is that with the alcohol? It's a mind-altering substance. Somebody else, a young person, most likely, came up to this place of power, just like I'm coming up to it, to get some of that power and beauty and medicine. And that was medicine they were using, was the alcohol. And in some way, kind of almost maybe a sick way, they made an offering of the beer can into this place of power. And I found that, I don't know how it is for you, but I found that many places of power, found some of that alcohol in one way or another. And so it was a reminder for me, opening to the medicine and spirit of the place here in those sacred mountains. Yeah, part of your job here is to clean up the trash on whatever level you find it. If you're going to be real with yourself, then don't leave that beer can there. Pick it up, take it down. That's part of walking a spiritual path. Take care of the garbage, yours or whomever else's. That's in you. It comes into your attention that you could do something about. So I pick it up and do some prayers with the pipe, and the power and the beauty up there is magnificent. And if you can see it as I'm coming back down the mountain, I stopped on a ridge there to do some Tai Chi and Qigong and give thanks. Power of prayer, the ways I was taught with Native people from the get-go is it's not about gimme, it's about thanksgiving, giving thanks for what we have been given. And that opens the doorway to communion with spirit, so that you can then if there is a request for something or a desire to send some healing energy out, then you can be good channels for that healing light and love. So the wind's blowing so strong that I'm almost literally getting blown over at certain points. So I have to really drop my ground in, practice, and the waves and the winds get so strong as they are in life and our challenges. You got to drop those roots in deeper and deeper. You're not going to be able to stop the winds. Don't have the power to do that. Arrogant to think you do. Just drop in deeper. Send those roots deeper so you can ground in. So I'm getting some of the medicine, the beauty and power of this beautiful mountains. And looking out, what do I see? Well, what you see behind me. What you see behind me in the image here is a view of down into Santa Barbara proper. And you can see a little bit of the beach there. And then there's Mother Ocean, Great Mother Ocean there. And you can't see it in this picture, unfortunately, but I could see it. There's the Channel Islands, 30 miles away across Mother Ocean. There's the Channel Islands. So there, within 15 or 20 minutes of my home, I'm being blessed with the power and medicine and beauty of the sacred mountains, joining with the Mother Ocean. And I can feel this power coming in. And I'm in joy with the beauty of it and the power of the wind. And I get what a gift of grace it is that I'm now able to live at a place where I can 15, 20 minutes from my house, I can access myself of this kind of power and beauty. And I hear the voice saying, and so you've been given this gift of grace, but as with all gifts of grace, it comes with a responsibility. It comes with responsibility. Because this power is just pouring through me, And so it raises the question of, okay, so all this juice, all this kapuri, all this chi, this mana, this orenda, whatever word you want to call it, it's like on steroids here by this huge mountain range and the ocean and the wind. What do you want to do with it? What do you want to do with this power? And that's the question that's asked to us in every moment of being alive with the breath that comes in, if we're present for it. What do you want to do with this power of life that I'm giving you right now, with the power of choice of what you put your attention into? So I drop into, okay, so what do I want to use this for? It's being given to me to use. Toward what end? What do I want to use it for? What's the best I can do with this? Well, I take it in, I let it flow to a couple of places inside my body that can use a little healing energy, and that's taken care of pretty quickly. And that power is just still flowing through me. What's the best thing to do with it? Send it out. Send it out to my relations. Send it out to everybody, to the ancestors, to my friends, to you, all the people of the starlight, Ohana, all the people of the live, love now, Ohana. Just start pouring it out, sending it out to you. And that brings me joy. And it reminds me of a medicine song which is a prayer. Gratitude to, first comes all the gratitude to the spirit. And then Kansua Yuta, with your help. May I carry my heart through this world. May I carry my heart through this world. May I carry my heart through this world like a life-giving sun, shining so bright on each and every one, shining so bright on each and every one. So imagine for a moment, again, invitation, drop down into the looks within place. It's good to have facility going in and out real quickly. Just drop down in the sacredness of your looks within place. And you've been endowed. We've all been endowed with access to infinite light and love through our hearts. Bring our intention down in there, open up our hearts, turn on the faucet, the juice flows. So we're walking through each of us as we're walking through our day, interacting with people we know, and of course, more people we don't know. This in the course of whatever it is we're doing in the day, at the store, or the market, or the gas station, at the, whatever. And each time we pass somebody, we have opportunity to be a channel for healing light and love to that person. And remembering that saying that in the game of life, the one who loves the most wins. The more opportunity we take to be a channel for that healing light and love to more of the people, and maybe possibly, if we're really going for it, want to push the metal to the pedal or the pedal to the metal, then let me try to do that with everybody whose path I cross today, with everybody whose path crosses mine today. No matter if I'm just passing them on the street or in the car, no matter the length of time of interacting, keeping that channel open. and the opportunity to enrich our lives, sending that healing light and love out from us and into that other person or people. And for me, what I mean by prayer is doing precisely that. Hooking the hose up to the spigot, turning the spigot on. I don't have to create what comes out of the spigot. That's a gift of grace from Spirit flowing in with the breath, and then aiming the hose of my attention on wherever, whomever I want to send it to. And when we do that, quien sabe, who knows what's possible? Who knows what's possible with the power of prayer, and especially when you have a group of people joining hearts and minds and spirits together. Who knows what's possible? So at this point, I want to ask Sister Kelly, if you would unmute your thing there, please. Yeah, because I got a call. Sister Kelly's husband, Max, a dear friend of mine, medicine brother for 40 years, was in the hospital last week. And for a while, it looked like it could have been touch and go. And Kelly asked for prayers and to people in the walk-on community. And a lot of us sent those prayers out. And both she and Max, I spoke to them yesterday, shared with me their experience, their sense of what those prayers helped happen. So Kelly, would you do us the honor and just share with me your, the truth of what your sense is of all that as you experienced it with you and Max?
So just quickly, he was bleeding internally and losing a lot of blood. And so they went to look and there was too much to see anything. So they said, we'll have to do it tomorrow. And they started pumping his stomach out so they could keep up with it. He had 5 pints given to him. They went in the next day and they couldn't find anything. There was no ulcer, no hole. He said, I guess his body's corrected it. But the doctor that I talked to said, I'm really nervous about this because this shouldn't, I don't understand how this could have happened, that we can't find something because it's obviously coming from the stomach. And I immediately thought, there's so many people praying for Max that I think I understand how it happened. And it was just one of those things that's unexplainable and just such a blessing. And we're so grateful.
Oh, for you.
Thank you. So thank you to everybody who sent their energy to Max. And we had a lot of friends here who were doing the same thing. And he was put in mesas in Peru and here and with Wakan. And it was just, I felt like he was really in, Spirit's hands, and he was being taken care of. So, yeah.
Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Yeah, and when I spoke to Max yesterday, he told me, he shared some of his experience when he was in there going through it, that he could feel. He said, I could literally feel the energy of the prayer power coming into me and strengthening me and helping me. So the question of what's possible with the power of prayer. So I want to read you just some scientific tests that have been done over the last 30, 40 years, trying to scientifically prove, are we just making all of this up? Is it just happenstance and would have happened anyway for Max? And we're just fooling ourselves and deluding ourselves? So bear with me, I just want to read a couple of paragraphs. Can one person's thoughts influence the experience or health of another? Is there an effect over a distance? Over the last 40 years, more than 150 formal controlled studies of distant healing have been published, attempting to find a way to objectively describe the outcome of the power of prayer, the healing power of prayer. More than 2/3 of these tests show significant effects. One test was with the efficacy of prayer was with a group of patients with AIDS. In these studies, a group of religious believers hundreds of miles away is asked to pray for the people in one group. This is a 5-year triple-blind study with 60 advanced AIDS patients at California Pacific Medical Center, where I used to work years ago with kids with cancer. And this was to determine whether or not there's an effect of healing intentions over distance. The study confirms significant effects of healing at a distance. Patients in the treatment group acquired fewer new AIDS-defining diseases than people in the control group. Their overall illness severity scores were significantly lower. They had significantly fewer hospitalizations, and those they had were significantly shorter. They also showed improvement of psychological status, including decreased depression, anxiety, and anger, along with increased vigor. The mechanism this is the science that's talking, the mechanism by which this happens is not known to the scientists, but factors that must be present for the prayer to work are identified. Compassion, love, empathy, concern. Compassion, love, empathy, and concern. Those are things you can't fake. You can say the words, but if it's happening for real, it's if you drop down in our hearts and it's actually happening. That's where the power comes from. To me, it's acting in a loving way. And since spirit is love, to access the transformational power of love that I think is the force that's in the prayers that helps people, has the potential to help people separated in time and space, is we act in a loving way toward ourselves. We enter into a loving, kind, compassionate, loving relationship with ourselves. That helps us access the love that spirit is, the infinite light and love. And when we're in that flow and we send it out, it's an open ball game about what can happen, about what's possible with the power of prayer. So I just want to share a couple of thoughts about my own understanding with my own relationship with prayer. See what it brings up for you, and then we'll go inside and look from in place again, and we'll work with this power. And I know one of us here tonight is going into surgery tomorrow, and so I want to be sending prayers to that one. And if you're okay with mentioning your name, just raise your hand. Yeah, it's Brother Naresh there. He's going in for surgery tomorrow. So there's one person right here in our immediate group that could use some prayer power flowing his way for the surgery tomorrow. And each of us sitting here right now listening, if we open our awareness to it, knows people that could benefit right now from receiving an empowered flow of love light energy. Each of us knows people like that. Brother Mark has an election next Tuesday for the supervisor position he's running for, and back in Virginia. And with the fear and anxiety about the elections coming up next Tuesday, fear of the loss of democracy, of violence, it's just such a charged field. And so up there in the mountain, I said, well, how can I deal with this? How can I create a response to this? What should I pray for? What might I pray for all of this? And so whenever I'm sending that love light energy, prayer power out to somebody, I know what I'd like and what that person would like as the desired outcome. That's clear. But it's also clear that I don't know in truth what's for that person's greatest good or not. I don't know that. But I can't go wrong and sending out, like with the Max, sending out to Max and sending out to Kelly, strength for her going through the ordeal with her husband in the hospital and doesn't know whether he's going to see him again, whether he's going to live through this or not. Can't go wrong. I'm sending you healing light and love for fullest blossoming, greatest good, healing. There's no attachment to form there, right? Because all of us have had the experience with loved ones and friends where we prayed, with all our might. When my dad was dying, my mother told me when I was older, she said, when your dad was dying, I prayed to God for him to live. I had you as a 3.5, you or a 6-month-old and no money, and I prayed for God to said he might live. He didn't live, and so she cut God out of her life. She remained a spiritual person, although she didn't use that word. So we all know people we prayed for their healing, and it didn't happen. What we were seeking didn't happen, and there's disappointment. So there's no guarantee that what it is that we pray for is going to happen in the mystery of life and in the mystery of death, because it's all sacred mystery. So how can I then pray for someone and send them the best I can, best energy I can in the widest, broadest framework that can help them what they're going through, that can support them, send them a strength, energy to support them in whatever challenges they're working on for their healing, which may mean also that the quote on healing, the healing of the physical body isn't quote unquote working, and they're going into their dying experience. So is that a failure? Well, if I'm attached to the outcome, then it's a failure. But then my heart shuts down, and if they are going through their dying process, then the pipeline of support is cut off to them. So I don't want that pipeline. I don't know about you, but I never want that pipeline cut off. I want that pipeline open all the time. So when I send that prayer out, may like with Brother Naresh as an example tomorrow, may the procedure be successful. May the people, the men and women doing the work there, that procedure, may they be skilled and kind and successfully do what they need to do to open the doorway, to bring through, and for you, fullest blossoming, greatest good healing. Fullest blossoming, greatest good healing. And so letting that go in that framework, I can feel total openness and surrender into the mystery working, doing its truly opening the doorway to bring through what is for fullest blossoming, greatest good. All right, so that's some thoughts about prayer, power of prayer. So, as I said before, each of us knows people, and not just two-legged people, but four-legged people and swimming people. I just read an article in the LA Times that 2/3 of the conifer trees in the Southern Sierra have been lost, died, or be killed by fire or drought. So all the people, the two-leggeds, the four-leggeds, the tall, straight people, the winged flying people, the crawling people, the insects. Sometimes I think the insects are a pain in the ass, but the insects are food for the birds and many other animals who do things that in the interconnected web of life and creation, there's no such thing as separation. Everything's working, trying to work in harmony and balance for the betterment, sustaining life. And we've forgotten how to do in our culture. So challenging times, we have opportunity being alive to use our empowered joining of hearts, minds, and spirits to make a difference. So let's drop back down into our sacred looks within place. And just take a few moments to be with the preciousness of your awareness. The preciousness of your awareness. So I was driving up the mountain today and experiencing that anxiety and fear and tension, and my body was tight and all of that kind of thing. So I was also reminding myself, anxiety is here, tension is here, fear is here. The immediacy of the possibility of death is here, and all that, which is triggered by that awareness. And none of that is you. None of those feelings or sensations are you. Those are passing clouds that your awareness is experiencing in the moment. So it's the meta awareness of what we're aware of through mindfulness. When I don't know how it is for you, when I put it in, hold it in my mind with the story, I'm anxious, I'm fearful, I'm putting the totality of my identity into that feeling, which is momentary, based on a story I'm telling myself in the moment. It constricts me, it feeds the fear, the anxiety, the inflammation, the suffering. So reminding myself that my physical organism and emotional and psychological is all experiencing the experience is experiencing. So there's no denial, there's no turning away from it. So yeah, there it is. It's not who I am, but it's happening in the container of my physical being. How can I work with it skillfully? So let your awareness, the gift of your precious awareness, just flow through the energy field of your body. Just scanning through it, gently scanning through it to see if there's any places of constriction or tightness or resistance or inflammation. Because when we tighten, when we constrict, that expression, get uptight, that triggers inflammation. Cortisol shoots through the body, fight or flight, suffering. Noticing it, breathing into those places, constriction or tightness, remembering mantra. Let go, release. Let go, release. Relax. Unwind. Relax, unwind. Let go, release. Let go, release. Unwind. Unwind those places of knots of tension or tightness, breathing the flow of Tao into those places and helping them release. Let go, release. Be kind. Be kind. What does it mean to be kind to yourself in this very moment of being alive? Be kind. Let go, release. Unwind. Be kind. Shine. Shine the love light that you are. And live, love now. Live, love now. Live, love now. Reminding yourself, if I want to live with peace in my mind, peace of mind, if I want to live with peace in my body, in my belly, in my gut, if I want to live with peace in my heart, if I want to live with peace in my soul and my spirit, walk with the light, work with the light, live, love now. Live, love now. Letting the love flow through us. And when you're ready in a way that's meaningful to you, but whatever sensations or images or visions might come to you of being a channel for that healing light and love, not just flowing through you, going to those places that need healing, tenderness, kindness, support. But then the wonderful gift of being able to send it out into the heart of someone else. The power of prayer. Fullest blossoming, greatest good. Fullest blossoming, greatest good, healing. I'm sending you light to help you remember. I'm sending you light to hold you in love. I'm sending you light to help you remember. I'm sending you light to guide your way home. Love is the answer. Love is the key. Love is the healer. Let love flow through me. Let love flow through thee. Let love flow, Yahweh. Let love flow, Yahweh. And staying in the sacred holiness of your looks within place, I offer some prayers, a Buddhist prayer. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I be free of suffering. May I be free of mental anxiety. And may I live in peace. May my life be blessed with ease, opening to the flow of ease, not having to struggle and push. Opening. The waves of the ocean flow with ease. The waves flow with ease. As I pray for these qualities of consciousness and being in me, I pray for them for you. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be free of suffering. May you be free of mental anxiety. And may you live in peace. May your precious life be blessed by ease. Be blessed with ease. And actualizing our potential to be a doorway, a Neureka, a collective energy field, Neureka, sending this energy out into the world with prayers for peace, peace in our hearts, peace with justice for all beings. May all beings live in peace and harmony. May all beings have food and clothing and shelter and fuel. May we all live, walk the good red heart path road to completion, to fullest blossoming, greatest good, joy, grace, and gratitude. May all beings be happy. May we be healthy. May all beings be free of suffering. May we be free of mental anxiety. May we live in peace. May lives be blessed with ease. Just allow yourself to notice with your own awareness as these prayers flow through us out into the world. What you experience, your own experience of being a channel for healing, light, and love, receiving it, letting it flow through you and out into the world for the healing of the sacred hoop. And I offer a reflection question to you. My story of my journey up into the sacred mountains through the prayers tapping into the power and beauty of the sacred mountain, the wind, and the ocean. Having to face my fears, my anxiety, my negativity, those aspects of my unconditionally conditioned first attention dream got triggered by the stimulus of the winding roads and the steep exposure. And finally, getting to the place that I was seeking to go, a place of great beauty and power, and being blessed by the power and beauty there. And being empowered to step into grateful ownership of the gifts given to me by living in this place of beauty, and a responsibility to use it wisely in service to higher will. Praying, the fullest blossoming, greatest good, walk in harmony and balance to completion. And a gentle, peaceful crossing at the end. A gentle, peaceful crossing at the end. Completion of our work, of our assignments here in this incarnation. Fullest blossoming, greatest good. Thank you, Great Spirit, great mystery. Kayumare, dear Spirit. Dr. Wadi, Grandfather Fire Spirit, ancestor spirits that we're remembering here on this Dia de los Muertos. The love that doesn't die. Great gratitude for bringing us together to share this sacred time. Opening our eyes, breath in, breath out. Invitation to take a look around the screen at the sacred beings, the priestesses and the priests, the sacred women, beautiful women, medicine women, the sacred men, medicine. Take a look at each of the manifestations of spirit before our eyes now. Gratitude for your being. Thank you for showing up. And take in, I just offer the power of the mountain that's behind me and the power of the ocean you see there. I'm just sending it to you. Blessing for your life. Thank you for the blessing that you are. Thank you for coming here tonight. And take good care of your precious sacred self. And every morning, I'm going out to that spigot, turning it on, hooking up to the power, and I'm sending you some mojo. So if you make a good home for it, you're going to receive it. Oh, Brios. Take good care. Till next time. Vaya con Dios. Go with God. All right. Brios.
Thank you, Tomas.
Thank you, Tomas.
Yeah.
Us.
Thank you.